is it appropriate for Labour MPs to be linked to the self-styled anti-fascist organisation called Hope Not Hate, which claims to, quote, work tirelessly to expose and oppose far-right extremism? Now, two of the trustees of the charitable foundation are now reportedly Labour MPs. And it doesn't stop there. So the chairman of its trustee board is newly elected Labour MP Gurinder Singh Josan, and the government whip, Anna Turley, is both a director and a member of its board of trustees. Now, although Hope Not Hate claims to be non-partisan, they have been responsible for waging war on several prominent Tory and Reform UK politicians. Now, during the 2024 London mayoral elections, they distributed leaflets branding the Conservative candidate, Susan Hall, racist, and they also hounded her on social media. They've also accused Reform UK leader Nigel Farage of racism, xenophobia, sexism and Islamophobia to stir up division. I am joined now by the Conservative member of the London Assembly, Susan Hall. Susan, it's great to have you on the show. Thank you very, very much for coming on. I do have a little clip of some of the stuff that they did about you not so long ago. So I'm going to play a little bit of that, and then I'll get you to talk off the back of it, if that's all right. So let's take that.
Yes, sure.
Do you regret your choice of words you made yesterday?
I regret people misunderstand what I say. That's what I regret.
Do you still think the 2020 election was stolen?
No, I think you're referring to an old tweet.
Are you a fan of Enoch Powell?
No, of course not.
But why? I don't understand. There was a picture of him, and you liked that tweet.
People misunderstand what I say. That's what I regret.
Yeah, so they really kind of went after you there. I am also at pains to say that a guy called Nick Lowles, who's described as the boss of Hope Not Hate, apologised for a false, quote, acid attack on Muslim woman tweet, which was suggested by some people might have gone some way to whipping up a bit of hatred and division during that period of the riots. So, Susan, do you feel as though it's appropriate for Labour MPs to sit on Hope Not Hate's board of trustees?
No, they should come out and tell everybody what they are. For years, they've had Labour people running this wretched, ghastly campaign. And I think some people that pay into it think that it is some form of charity, because I think they still do have charitable status. When we look at the way MPs are in danger these days, it does not help when you've got a company, if you like this, putting out tens of thousands of leaflets with my face on it, with racist written right across it. That really just causes more and more problems for politicians. And I don't feel safe when that sort of thing happens. And it happened all the way through the mayoralty. They're a damn disgrace. And one of the other Assembly members, the Assembly member for Brenton Harrow, he was handing out, he said, if you go to their website and type in Susan Hall, you'll see a picture of him on there. He was delivering leaflets. And I stopped him and I said, what the hell do you think you're doing? You know, bloody well, I'm not racist. And he said, well, yes. I said, well, why are you handing out these blooming awful leaflets then? I said, that's Hope Not Hate. I said, are you a member of it? He said, oh, I associate myself with it. Of course they do. They use them to badmouth anybody on the right. And quite frankly, I know you're as fed up as I am. If you're not far left, as I'm quite happy to call them now, since everybody else is far right, if you're not that, you're clearly racist. That's all they say. I'm sick to death of it, quite frankly, Patrick. Sick to death of it. I
mean, there's been several incidents where same chap, Nick Lowles, who's not here to defend himself, but he is, I believe, the chief executive of Hope Not Hate. When we had that night where there was supposed to be 100 and odd far-right riots that never happened, and, you know, this was based on a list that was supposedly going around on Telegram groups, he came out and tweeted the next day that list was actually a hoax, which the implication is there that, well, was that put out there to try to make it look as though Britain saw off the far right, which, of course, was all the narrative there. He also did apologise, like I said, and was called incredibly irresponsible after putting out a tweet which said, reports are coming in of acid being thrown out of a car window at a Muslim woman in Middlesbrough. Absolutely horrendous. That was seen by more than 100,000 people. That turned out to, as we understand it, not be true. Now, he was accused of pouring petrol on the fire. And it's this kind of group, isn't it, that I wonder whether or not Labour politicians should really be associated with, Susan.
No, they shouldn't. But then you look at that tweet from Wes Streeting the day before the mayoral election, when he said that anybody voting for me was a white supremacist or had to be a white supremacist, Islamophobic or a racist. The left come out with comments like this all the time. And all they say is, oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And everybody forgives them. And yet those of us that are centre-right, we get lambasted constantly with things from the left and being called racist all the time, which is very unpleasant. I call me lots of things, but do not call me racist.
Yeah, I mean, they do quite a lot of stuff, hope not hate. I mean, some people would say, Susan, that this is just part of democracy and that, you know, they disagree vehemently with what you have to say. They are, you know, fully signed up to various things like the Refugees Welcome Brigade, etc. And that this is the kind of thing that you might have to just put up with.
No, you see, I absolutely agree. We've all got different views and we're all entitled to different views, Patrick. And GB News is fabulous. You get people with different thoughts. I mean, on your panel, you've got a gentleman there, I don't know, but he's putting the other side to it. That's fine and that's fair. What isn't right is the minute the left don't like something you're saying, they refer to you as racist. And I'm sick to death of it.
Yeah, and I mean there are question marks as to whether or not it's possible for groups like Hope Not Hate to lean on corporations or lean on advertising executives or lean on commercial directors at places as well to say that, you know, if you do advertise with people, etc., who do not fit our brand values or our values as a group, then, you know, we can come out and make your life very difficult. Obviously, the likes of Hope Not Hate would probably deny that they lean on anyone to do that, but there's different ways of applying pressure, aren't there? And, you know, I do wonder whether or not Labour MPs should really be associated with that. There is a question mark, of course, as well, Susan, just finally with you, about, you know, if there's a Labour whip who is in charge of telling Labour MPs, in part, how to vote on certain things, is associated with a group like Hope Not Hate, who have courted criticism from numerous different people as well for being, the perception being that maybe they are at times, you know, a little bit extreme in their views. Is that really a good idea to have someone behind the scenes trying to whip Labour MPs to vote a certain way in that regard?
Well, no, but I think what we need to be clear of, that people like Hope Not Hate should not pretend that they're completely independent. They're not. I mean, if you look on their website again, one of their first lines under me is, "We did it. Hope Not Hate has stopped Susan Hall becoming Mayor of London." Well, that's not an independent group. That is a group working on behalf of the Labour Party.
And you think that put you felt as though that put you at risk, at personal risk, because of some of the rhetoric?
Putting pictures of my face and delivering them with racist written across it, yes, I do. Don't you? I would never dream of doing that to any other politician. I think it's absolutely hateful. You know, we're not racists. And to be constantly called racist, and that's what's making more and more politicians stand back, because they're concerned about what they're going to be called. And the left wing do it all the time, and it's time we started fighting back.
All right. Well, Susan, look, thank you very much. Great to have you on the show. It's Susan Hall there, just talking about her own experience as she sees it with that group Hope Not Hate. Now, we did approach Hope Not Hate directly. We also approached Gurinder Jossan, Antonia Bant, Sarah Owen and Anna Turley for comment on all of this. We did not hear back. I am just going to build a right of reply for them here because we haven't heard back from them. This is on their website. It says Hope Not Hate exists to challenge all kinds of extremism and build local communities. Our work focuses on the organised far right, the communities who are susceptible to them, and the issues and policies which give rise to them.